still looking for their first win of the series against the Knicks as this second-round series swung to Philly. Joel Embiid back in the starting lineup after missing Game 2 of this set, middle of the second quarter. Mitchell Robinson with a welcome to the series. A poster of epic proportions off the inbound. There's a poster.
Oh.
Knicks up by 5 after that one, and under a minute later is Jalen Brunson doing his damage from distance. Pull up is proper. New York goes up by 6 with that bucket, under 5 minutes left in the second. Mikal Bridges off the turnover from Paul George, who decides to do not a whole lot of anything. Hoop and the harm on the other end. Bridges, Brunson, both with 15 points in the first half. Knicks up by 8 at the break. Early third, Brunson getting 3 the hard way through all kinds of contact from one Kelly Oubre. And then about 2 minutes left in the third. Embiid working down low, gets that to go. Part of his 18-point effort brings the Sixers back within 2. Final seconds of the third, though, it's off the open look, Landry Shamet for 3. That put him up by 9, and in the fourth, it's the affectionately named Big Body Brunson by one Kendrick Perkins taking over. Top side 3 goes. 6 minutes remaining. It's an 11-point game, and Brunson driving, float game proper. It's a 13-point game. Then Karl Anthony Towns, whose assists have gone way up in this postseason, up from 3 a game in the regular season to now 6 in the postseason. Wow. Big man facilitating. Then seconds later, Brunson finds Bridges, lays it in. Brunson finishes with 33, 9 dimes, and the Knicks take a commanding 3-0 series lead.
We knew that they were going to be energized by the crowd, especially being down 0-2. They're a great team. They weren't going to lay down. They were going to bring a little extra. We knew the crowd was going to help them bring a little extra. And they jumped out and they kind of punched us in the mouth to start the game. Our guys settled down and they figured it out the next, 3 quarters after that first one went by. But great response by our group. They're resilient. They've been through a lot as a veteran group, and it showed tonight.
You got to block out the noise. You got to focus on inside those lines. You got to focus on just us as a team. There's going to be times where things aren't going your way. Is how you respond. How you respond as a team is going to define who we are. And I think it took time. I think we still have a lot of room that we can grow, but it's really a key for us. I think our mental approach is a positive for us.
They shot 32 free throws. We had 16. So, and we're not a team that shoots a lot of threes. We attack with the ball on the ground. So, I don't know. Just gotta, I guess it's good when New York wins. So we just gotta have that mentality of just, not falling, I guess. And being smart enough to not put ourselves in a position where they're going to take advantage of it.
Going to find a way to stop Jalen Brunson, although I don't know that there's really an answer to him. 7th time that he's gone for 30 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists in a playoff game as a Knick, passing Hall of Fame point guard Walt Clyde Frazier, Tri-Cities High School's own, for the most games in Knicks playoffs.
Impressive, because if you watch the Knicks over the course of the year, there were games where they would fall behind double digits and start kind of hanging their heads, and you thought it was kind of over. But they've kind of built this confidence within themselves, and I think a lot of it has to do what they've done with what they've done in the playoffs. Yeah. Jalen Brunson said, look, I'm proud of the way our team handles things mentally. They didn't flinch when they were down 12 early in the first quarter. In fact, they got up 12 about 12 minutes later. So they really handled this adversity well, and here they are, 3-0 lead going into Sunday.
Yeah,
game 4.
Resilient team for sure. We have to talk about Mikal Bridges. I mean, not even just tonight, but this entire series. I said in Game 2, it seemed like he turned a corner. We saw what he could do on both ends in this game. What did you like from Mikal Bridges in this one?
I mean, just the relentless energy on defense, and then again, he's finding his spots on offense. It's not like he's taking bad shots to get the Knicks out of their offense. He's taking good shots when he's open, and he's knocking them down, and it's impressive because I'll go back to Game 3 against Atlanta, where he had 4 turnovers. He was 0 for 4. I remember talking to him after the game, and he was saying, look, I just have to take it, right? I have to take it, I have to process it and come back. And he's come back in a big way, because if you look at his play since that closeout game against Atlanta, I mean, he's been very, very good, both ends of the floor, a key for what the Knicks have been able to do.
23 points for him, and it seems like he's at his best when it matters most, especially in the postseason. We'll see if the Knicks can complete the sweep in Game 4 on Sunday.
This was a fun basketball game, Ty. Where on the floor do you feel that the Knicks actually won this one?
Well, coming into this series, if you would talk to some Sixers fans and, ask them who has the best player in said series, they would have said they do in Tyrese Maxey. And yet tonight, he got thoroughly outplayed by a guy who is actually the best player in this series, Jalen Brunson. And we can show you the numbers comparing these guys tonight. Brunson, more points, more assists, more efficient. And he understood the moment, John, because this was not a game that was just about essentially clinching this series. The Sixers aren't coming back from 3-0 down, but Jalen Brunson, the captain, the leader of this team, understood also we've got an opportunity to buy some extra time for our guy OG Anunoby, because I know we'll talk about him later, not needing him and forcing him to play in the Game 4. And then when you take a look at Tyrese Maxey, so disappointed, man. 12 shot attempts a game for your season at home, and you've got fewer shot attempts than Oubre, Embiid, and Paul George. So I thought the biggest story tonight was the best player on the Knicks thoroughly outplaying the best player on the Sixers, and that's why they won this game. Yeah,
Maxey played more minutes than Brunson, too, and still the efficiency wasn't even close. You talked about OG. No OG with the hamstring injury, no problem. Were you impressed with how the Knicks were able to fill the void?
Oh, absolutely. There was a point in this game where the Knicks bench outscored the Sixers bench 25-0. Now, that got inflated because of garbage time, where it ends up at 29-11. But Shamet, who had, not been a part of this rotation, he comes in and he's balling. But we do have to give a shout out to a guy people say I look like, Mikal Bridges.
I agree.
Knicks fans, just last round, we're ready to get rid of this dude. He had a 0-point game, which we know is inexcusable for a starter. But give him a lot of credit, man. He's doubled his point average going from last round into this round, and he's been extraordinary on defense. So Bridges, 3 straight games, 3 magnificent performances for this Knicks team. And with the bench unit, with Brunson doing what he did, and with Bridges stepping up, you got to love this total team effort in what was, a big, big game to, essentially clinch the series.
I don't think there's any question that the floor opens up quite a bit when Bridges is on. The Knicks have now won 6 playoff games in a row. This has been a bit of a roller coaster at times this season, Ty. So what does the consistency this postseason tell you about who they are right now?
Sometimes the Knicks make us feel really silly about how we talk about them throughout the regular season, whether it's the 2-9 stretch, the back-to-back games in LA against the Lakers and the Clippers, or you could just go back a week and a half ago, what we were saying about them when they were down 2-1 to the Atlanta Hawks. And it's that, yes, they're built for this moment. They're checking the boxes of a team that can absolutely win a championship because they're one of the best offenses, they're one of the best defenses, they're the most clutch team in basketball.
According to DraftKings Sportsbook, they now have a 2-0 series lead. This series shifts to Philadelphia. Skip, are you buying the Knicks as a championship team? Should I say Stephen A's Knicks?
Stephen A. Smith, you used to say to me that I get on your last nerve. Remember that?
Yes. I said it often, and it was true.
Allow me to say that on this, you get on my first nerve, because you, for years and years, have constantly ridiculed my Dallas Cowboys as an accident waiting to happen, and you have often been right. I give you that.
I haven't been wrong yet.
Often been right.
Go ahead.
But the ultimate accident waiting to happen that's been happening and happening and happening for many, many years is your New York Knicks, right?
Not the accent.
Yeah, New York Knicks. Since 1973, you have not won a championship. Since 1973, my Cowboys have actually been to 6 Super Bowls and won 4 of them. I would much rather be a Cowboy fan than a Knicks fan. I want to get that off my chest and out in the middle of this table, because I don't think you can argue with that.
First of all,
I'm sure that you were late this morning because they're still celebrating out on 7th Avenue.
Yeah.
It's the Kid Mero. You've seen him on Hot 97. You also see him on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Carmelo Anthony. Diehard Knicks fan, of course.
To the grave.
So let's just jump right into this.
Yes.
Like, yes, from the fan perspective, how are you feeling this morning?
Tremendous. This Knicks team is a juggernaut. It is a team of destiny. I made another New York sports comparison where I said Jalen Brunson needed to be Jeter-esque
Okay.
in his approach, and he did that. And they won by, I think it was, I believe, 828 points last time. So I think they're going to continue that. Yesterday, I was not worried at all.
A little closer.
I was not worried at all. At no point was I nervous. Look at me. First take, here's a hot take. The Knicks are running the table, okay? We're sweeping the Sixers, and we are sweeping the Thunder. I'm saying that out loud. You think I'm crazy? Yes, I see your face, Perk. I see your face, Stephen A. I said it out loud with my chest, okay? The Knicks are running the table. They are the team of destiny. They are the Giants, the Eli Manning Giants that beat Tom Brady 2 times. Yes, twice, okay? They are listen, because you know what? It used to not be the case that the Knicks had a guy similar to how the Yankees had the guy in Mariano Rivera. When Mariano Rivera came out, you knew the game was over. If the Knicks have possession and it's the end of the game, we have Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? And his large head helps him in the post.
First of all, a couple of things. When you're on First Take, don't try to filibuster. Leave that on Capitol Hill. Here, you need to give us a moment to get back at you. That's number one. Number two, you understand? I'm loving my Knicks in the whole 9. I can't let you get away with saying that. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm sorry to tell your business to dime you out, but you know what? You do an excellent job on radio in the morning. You usually have a driver. You had to drive yourself this morning. So clearly you're a bit dizzy. You're not all there. You understand? And
I'm locked in, Stephen.
First of all, you forgot that if you get through this series, you got a conference finals to deal with. All likelihood Detroit, even though we can't summarily dismiss Cleveland. But to sit up there and to say that the Oklahoma City Thunder would get swept by anybody, let alone the New York Knicks, calls for automatic drug testing. Okay? That makes no sense whatsoever. There isn't a soul on the basketball planet that would agree with that nonsense. Please, the Knicks would sweep the Oklahoma City Thunder?
Sweep.
You're insane. I'm a Knicks fan. I hope the Knicks don't get swept if they get to the finals and went up against OKC, let alone sweeping OKC. That's nonsense. Don't attach most Knicks fans to that nonsensical stuff that just came out of Kid Mero's mouth. We forgive him. We want to pardon him. He is not responsible for what said this morning because somebody drove him to work. You know, he had to drive himself to work for a change.
Facts.
He had to stay up. Little foggy, Big Perk. It's Knicks fans, he cannot speak for us on this one. Not this.
I hope I'm speaking for the entire city of New York when I say we are doing it. We're running the table. I'm not even worried about the Pistons, okay?
And that's the problem. And that is the problem. And that's exactly what Draymond Green was talking about. And that's the problem.
He's wrong, Perk.
No. That's the problem with the delusional fan base of the New York Knicks. You know, y'all sit up here and y'all come on here and y'all have these expectations, right? And Kid Mero, instead of you actually like living in the moment, you do realize that we're still waiting on news or injury report to see what's up with OG Anunoby, who's y'all X factor, right? And I want to give you some. I just want to give you some advice. I want to give you some advice real quick. I know you watch a lot of basketball. Did you watch the game 1 of the Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder? Did you see that game?
Yeah.
Okay, it was boring. It was boring. It put me to sleep. I woke up a few times, went back to sleep. You know why it was boring? Because the fans don't overreact because they know what it takes to win a championship. Y'all don't really know what it takes to win a championship because y'all haven't been there in so long.
Hold on.
My thing is, hold on,
Perk. People say that all the time, but my uncle was born in 1969, and he told me all about it, okay? And he got pictures, and we talk about it, so I do know what it's like. Also, I ran into Walt Clyde Frazier at Penn Station one time, and he told me all about it, so I'm very familiar with success. All right? Continue.
You haven't lived that success as
You haven't lived it.
Vicariously through other people.
You haven't lived it. And you can't come on here and be irresponsible and just disrespect the rest of the game like that. First of all, y'all got to get past this series, which I believe y'all will. And then y'all got to get past whoever comes out of the from the other round in the Eastern Conference Finals. And let's not sit up here and act like, y'all shouldn't be worried if y'all happen to face the Detroit Pistons, especially if OG Anunoby is not going to be if he's not available 100%, you have to worry about a dude by the name of Cade Cunningham if they get past the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because when you talk about a big guard, big forward, point forward, whatever you want to call him, the only person that can really contain him is OG Anunoby. Yeah. So my message to you is sit back, live in the moment. Don't jump the gun, because this is what I've been experiencing with y'all time after time after time ever since Jalen Brunson arrived in New York. The expectations of y'all always fall short. Live in the moment. Just appreciate what's happening. Get through this series. Get to the conference finals, and then we'll worry about y'all when y'all make it to the promised land, or if y'all make it to the promised land. Don't be delusional.
Yeah, the dichotomy here, if you're looking down at the bottom of the screen, your take, Kid Mero's take, Knicks will run the table. Stephen A. Smith, voice of reason here, worried about OG Anunoby, which you said you're not worried about. Nothing
I'm not worried about
night.
it at all.
That could potentially be a big injury, which obviously we don't know about the status of it, what exactly it is. We'll wait to find out more on that. But my gosh, the two of you, voice of reason this morning. You're just coming in here wilding.
Coming in hot.
Real quick, I'm disappointed
with facts.
In you, though. Seriously, I take my time. Shout out to Big Larry out here in L.A. I take my time, especially when I'm coming on the first take, to make sure that I follow the rules, right? The dress code. I come in and I go get me a tie. I ain't coming in with the chain, so you don't have no complaints about calling me Mr. T. But then you let Kid Mero come on here like that. And you don't say a word. And I was waiting to see if you was going to address him, but I guess it's some type of bias with you New Yorkers, so you didn't say anything to him.
I'm giving him a pass because
that's my Queens brother. New York.
No. It's not because of that. I'm giving you a pass because you got to get up 4 in the morning and you not yourself. You probably drunk with fatigue. You know what I'm saying? I get that part. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting IV right now. I'm letting it slide, but I do need an upgrade with the wardrobe next week. I do need that, my brother. You know why? Because in Queens we represent a nice blazer. A nice blazer and a collared shirt would be nice. You don't even have to wear a tie. You don't even have to wear a tie. I mean, because I haven't seen you in a tie and stuff like that. And, you hanging out with Melo and all of that stuff. And let me tell you something right now. I'm going to put it on first because, Melo's my man. I love my man, Carmelo Anthony, right? And I'm very proud of him and the crew and the job that they're doing. I'm going to say this on national television to Carmelo Anthony. I don't give a damn how good you look, because you do look good, my brother, with your outfits and all of that other stuff. I mean, I need to see Carmelo Anthony in a suit. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you covering the playoffs, dog. You understand? And you look sharp. You understand what I'm saying? Melo is Melo. Melo's cool as hell. I can't get on Kid Mero and not get on my man Carmelo Anthony, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm calling him out. That's my dog. I love him. You could, this is your boy Stephen A. talking to you. You could dress a little bit better. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't at the gym. You're on national television. I got to get on Melo. He could afford it. We know he could afford it, that brother. You understand what I'm saying? He could afford it. You understand? You're a role model. You good people, great people. Another one of the best people I know. I love him like a brother. You know, Stephen A. talking to you. You could upgrade the wardrobe. Do I need to make suggestions?
You guys are gonna go.
Do I need to make suggestions?
What you're saying.
I'm telling you. Look, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter. I'm very, very pleased. But Carmelo Anthony and D. Wade, let me not forget D. Wade. D. Wade, my other brother, that brother need to dress better too.
Stephen A., I don't know if you can see this right now. This man is sweeping the studio. He's already got the Knicks into the finals.
Knicks are not sweeping, Kid Mero. They're not sweeping.
The Eastern Conference Finals
they're not
to get
sweeping. Mero, they're not sweeping, bro. They're winning the series, but they're not sweeping.
Straight up shenanigans here on first day. We're going to try to level set here and get back into
Melo, D. Wade, y'all